welcome back to Date with the Divas. We have some hot topics to discuss with you viewers. I hope you have your beverage of choice at the ready because what did I say? These topics are hot as always. And if you haven't subscribed, hop to it and please click on that subscribe button. And don't forget to like our videos. We really would appreciate that. And now, Ms. Marnita, you gonna hook us up with some info?
All right, y'all. Got some hot topics for y'all. So let's dive right in. So it's been in the news that U.S. jumper Tara Davis-Woodhall was stripped of her national title after testing positive for marijuana. My sources for this story are HollywoodUnlocked.com and people.com. So there's a picture of Tara Davis-Woodhall right there. She's a 23-year-old long jumper. On February 17th, she won a title at the 2023 USATF Indoor Championships. Side note, I just felt like Usher. They call me USATF. So yes, back to the story. She won a title, but and I'm not clear on when this test took place. I think that this test took place not when she was not during the championship. So sometime after she competed, she tested positive for marijuana and her title was revoked. In a statement, the agency said that Davis-Woodhall's drug test for the competition found properties of cannabis, which typically result in a 3-month ineligibility period. But her suspension was adjusted to 1 month that began March 21st because her cannabis use occurred out of competition time and was unrelated to sport performance. The anti-doping agency, WADA, so that's the World Anti-Doping Agency, makes the rules.
WADA. I like that.
Exactly, WADA. They make the rules and they consider cannabis a prohibited substance. However, the agency has asked for input regarding the use of the drug as its legitimacy expands across the country. The U.S. Anti-Doping Agency, that's USADA, has advocated to WADA.
USADA WADA.
USADA and WADA. So USADA is advocating to WADA that they should treat marijuana fairer, and that they should have fairer and more effective ways to identify, to treat marijuana, since it's not a performance enhancing drug. We've seen this cannabis controversy before with Sha'Carri Richardson. You guys may remember that in 2020, Richardson qualified for the Olympics, but she was later disqualified or removed from the team due to marijuana being found in her system. So, Divas, I want to know, what do you guys think it's fair for an athlete to get stripped of their titles for using marijuana?
I thought it was legal.
It is legal. That's the
it's legal in certain
well, not everywhere.
That's what I'm saying. I think they should allow marijuana, but I think they have to stand by the ruling. If that's the rules, then they need to abide by them until they change it and make it like, if marijuana is okay. But I mean, because they know what the rules are. And so you kind of have to, you can't sit there and say, I didn't know if I smoked that I was going to be disqualified. She knew that, just like, I can't think of with Sha'Carri knew that as well. I mean, and she took it for Sha'Carri. I knew she did it from depression. I think she had just lost her mom or something. Kind of smoke. She knew it. And yes, I think it was wrong that she couldn't do it, but they got to follow the rules. It's kind of, you set these rules. You can't not follow it because of the circumstance. So they just need to overturn these rules or change the rules, is my personal opinion.
Right. Good opinion. Anybody else?
Especially if it was outside her performance, so to speak. I mean, what does that have to do with her event?
Exactly.
If it wasn't on the day she was jumping.
I think they can't tell that. That's the problem. It's not like you can, I mean, drugs are going to stay in your system for a long period of time. It depends on how often you're using it. So it's not like if she smoked it outside of it, how can you tell she didn't smoke it or ate it? Because it could have been a gummy or edible that same day. There's no way to determine when you actually took it. So
well, in this case, I don't have like all the detail, but in this case, they said they did lower the suspension from the 3 months to the 1 month because it was outside of she tested positive outside of the time of the event. So it's a little, but I think also it goes back to what you were saying, Marilyn, the rules are the rules. Like, I guess if you test positive a week later, you still test positive. So that's why she's
why were they testing her outside of the event? Was it just a regular
that wasn't listed? That wasn't listed, or so I don't know.
Is it that like, say for example, they tested today because this is the event coming whenever, I don't know if they do it a week out or something, and then but then marijuana stays in your system for a certain period of time, so then when they calculate that, then it's outside of the time.
Well, the weird thing is this was in February. She won the title in February. It was February 17th, and now the story is coming out that she was stripped. So it leads me to believe that they were tested afterwards, but that's not, I haven't read that anywhere, but that's just what I feel like. That's the conclusion I'm drawing, because the story is just now hitting. And yeah, her suspension began March 21st. So
I'll be curious if she was tested before the event, and then they were tested after. And then if she was tested before and was negative and then tested after, I think that's wrong. I mean, like, if you're not in any events, now that I would say, hey, the event's over. What I do in my personal time is my personal time, but I don't know when her next event was. So it'll be interesting to know factually.
Right, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, was something coming up?
If you have a job where you're subject to routine drug testing, they don't
That's
care.
what I was going to say.
Routine and random.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Perhaps it's just random testing.
Yeah, if it's random.
Okay. That's
whatever got.
And then she knows if she shouldn't have been doing it, even if it was outside the testing period. I mean, she knows the rules.
Yeah.
And don't they say you're an athlete, you don't want to be putting all that stuff in your body?
I was just thinking about that, Joe, and I was like, well, are we testing for alcohol? Like, you don't want to be putting that in your body either.
Speak for yourself. Thank you very much.
And I also think, marijuana is being used for so much different stuff. I mean, cannabis, like I said, she could have ate an edible. It could have been for anxiety. She could have done it for sleep.
Look at you trying to give her a chance. Look at that.
No, I'm just saying in general, because I know a lot of people,
We was giving this man a chance last week, so we gonna give the female a chance this week. So Tyrese, we okay this week?
Let's see how you stand in the next topic.
Oh, damn. Uh-oh.
Oh, man.
Is it on that note?
Yeah.
Look, is she telling you it's over, Marty? That move to the next topic.
Hey, you know what? I think we got our thoughts out on this one, unless you got anything to add. Miss Lava, who has just joined us. Everybody say what's up to Miss Lava.
It's like, no, I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, Miss Lava's still getting herself together. She's still getting herself together. So I think
I'm good.
Okay, what you think about marijuana and athletes? You think, I don't know if you heard about Tara Davis-Woodhall. She's a long jumper. She was stripped of her title after they found marijuana in her system. What say you?
I am a preponderant of, you have a job, and this is a requirement of the job. So you need to withhold those requirements, follow the rules. Or else you can lose your job.
Yes, I think that seems to be the consensus here. I mean, we would love to see the WADA go ahead and change them rules and be a little bit more inclusive of, an understanding of what people are going through and that they may need the cannabis. But, till then, if you're going to choose to do the sport, I guess you got to follow the rules. All right, let's go on to that next topic. Y'all ready? Because this is A lot.
Okay.
This one's got a lot going on.
Run
Y'all
it
heard
on
about
down, run it
Tyrese?
on down.
Let me take
Y'all-
a sip. Let
yes.
me take a
Y'all,
sip.
y'all checked on Tyrese? Y'all heard about him?
Oh, I'm out of the
Oh,
loop.
Lord, no. Oh,
my
Lord.
my sources for this story are blackenterprise.com, madamnoir.com, the shade room, msn.com, and Kempire. Took a little bit of something from everybody. Okay, so Tyrese, you know, he's going through this divorce. I think the divorce has been finalized, but he's still going through some proceedings for child support and stuff. And, you know, he's making some claims about this judge. He's saying that the judge is racist. He's saying that the judge called his ex-wife a bitch. This is a screenshot from a recent video that Tyrese did and put on Instagram. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Said that word, really?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not watch this whole video. I saw
did.
little snippets. So yeah, if you want to chime in, I was like, I'm not watching a 30-minute video, but I got some most of my stuff from madamnoir.com. They kind of summarize what he was saying. So let's get into it. Tyrese Gibson, for those of y'all who don't know, he is an R&B singer. He is an actor. You may know him from Fast and Furious franchise. He has two children. 15-year-old daughter Shayla, who he shares with his ex-wife Norma Mitchell, and 3-year-old Sonia Soraya.
Soraya.
Soraya, thank you. Soraya, he shares with his most recent ex-wife, Samantha Lee Gibson. So looks like Samantha filed for divorce in 2020. And they have been dealing with a judge in Fulton County. Judge Kevin Farmer has been overseeing the case. And Tyrese and this judge have bumped heads in the courtroom. In August 2020, Tyrese got into a heated argument with his ex-wife's attorney. And that kind of pissed the judge off. The judge said, like, look, we here to talk about your child. Kill all that noise, basically. Really paraphrasing. He didn't really say kill all that noise. So like I said, in that recent clip on Instagram, Tyrese went off talking about how the judge was being racist, how he had referred to his ex-wife as a bitch in front of Tyrese and his lawyer. Tyrese says that he wants nothing more than to have a relationship with his children, but he claims that Farmer's obvious and blatant racism interfered with his right for a fair divorce trial. Tyrese says he has literally had to fight the judge to do everything according to the law. Tyrese said that he and his attorney did try to get the judge recused from the case for unprofessionalism, but they were unsuccessful. Just recently, a couple days ago, Tyrese called for the help of Black fathers, the Nation of Islam, attorney Ben Crump, Roland Martin, Martin Luther King III, and other media personalities. Exactly. He wanted them to come to court with him on April 25th, which we are recording today, the 26th. That yesterday was the 25th. I tried to dig up some information and see if any of those people came to court with him. I don't know that they did. I don't think
he wasn't too smart recording that video before his trial. I mean, come on, you gonna make the judge mad.
He also wanted to do a prayer session with his
Nation of Islam,
his fans before
okay.
to pray on behalf of family law, that the court system some way, somehow tends to lean to the other side. I guess the other side is not the side of fathers. And here was an interesting quote. He said, "It takes a George Floyd to change the law, and it takes a Tyrese to be a vocal and outspoken about the real shit that's going on in the criminal justice system, along with the family law court system." So
does he need to be tested?
Say what?
No,
He said, does he need to be tested?
Yeah,
sorry.
Tyrese be
My
out there,
bad.
man.
My
Tyrese be
bad,
out
my bad,
there.
my bad, my bad.
So
Tyrese,
the outcome of this is Tyrese was
You got
held
to pay $50 million now because you can shut your mouth up.
exactly. He was held in
He could shut his
contempt of
mouth
court.
up.
He had
He
to
had to do what?
pay back. He was held in contempt of court. I think
Yes.
that's for not paying his child support. He had to pay back child support of
Good.
almost $238,000.
$1,000.
It was $10,000 a month.
$400,000 for his ex-wife's attorney fees.
Yep.
$17,000 for a special master appointed to handle minor disrupts in the disputes in the court case. So I'm gonna be real with you, audience. We here at Date with the Divas usually like to give the information and, you know, give a question that's thought-provoking. I don't have a question that's thought-provoking. So we can go back to Lava's question. Does Tyrese need to be tested? Like, what's up?
Like, what's good? What's really, really good?
Didn't he like? He had issues.
A
before,
nervous
right?
breakdown,
He was
like-
crying, and then who came and helped him?
Will Smith, Will and Jada.
Right?
But he wasn't supposed to say nothing, and he did.
Like,
What, he wasn't supposed to say that they came and helped him?
Yeah, so they basically was like, we will give you some money to shut up and get off the internet.
because he was crying, like they were
Yeah.
taking
Yeah,
away
it was
his
bad.
food.
Wait a
And
minute,
then he
isn't
got
he
back
part
on
of
the
a very
internet and said that.
successful franchise?
Yes.
That don't mean he
Not
manages
one, I
money
think
well.
but two.
Thank you, Marilyn.
I
That
think
They
don't
we
on
mean
just-
number
he don't-
9. They on number 9. Okay.
That don't mean, and he's on his second marriage, doesn't mean he managed that money well. Not just because he's in a successful franchise doesn't mean he actually has money. We don't know what his, I mean, he needs to pay.
But the judge will only assign a certain amount of money for child support based on
The
visible
financials.
income. So the judge is basing it off of what he can afford to pay.
So
Right, I'm
let's
not
let's say
disputing that.
let's put it like this. People have their taxes done every single year, right? And there's an amount that is their gross, what is it called? Gross
Gross
income.
Growth.
Income.
Yeah, gross income. But then
Adjustable.
a lot of people, I know for a lot of lay people, that gross income, and then you be like, where that money went? I ain't got that money. When they asking you what, so I can only assume.
I should have bought 3 Crocs instead of 10.
But
I'm a little
wasn't
confused as to-
Tyrese bragging that he had like a Starbucks in his house and a Dunkin' Donuts?
I
in
think
his-
he had a what's the one where they chop the food and do it in front of you?
Yeah, he had a Benihana in his
Benihana.
Oh,
Right,
Benihana.
right.
That was a while
Yeah.
ago.
Like, but you don't want to pay child support?
And I also read that he bought his 15-year-old when his daughter turned 15. He bought her like a Bentley or a Rolls Royce.
She don't have a
She
driver's
can't drive.
license.
She only 15.
So he need Oprah to intervene, like Oprah intervened with Tony
Tony
Braxton.
Braxton.
Yeah, I watched his ridiculous Instagram video.
Okay, tell
Thank
us
you.
more.
Thank you,
said
Marnie, for that gift. But
We're gonna put ridiculous
said
with
for
a
that gift.
capital RID.
I can never get that time back. So thank you, Marnie.
I ain't didn't watch it. I said, give me a
started, I was like, this
screenshot.
sounds bad. Yeah.
But to me, he seemed to be upset because he signed a prenuptial agreement with this woman and she left him. And he said in the video, I don't know why she left me. I still to this day don't know why she left, but you left. So now you can't live the life you were living with me. You made a choice. And so now you have to go live your own life. And then he commented that they want him to pay her attorney fees. But he said that's also in the prenup, that if we separate, she will pay her attorney fees and I will pay mine. But I'm like, but that's not what this is about. This isn't about the separation, Tyrese. This is about the child support. That's a completely separate issue. It seems to me that he's upset with this woman and he wants to punish her for leaving him by making sure she does not live in the style to which he grew her accustomed to. That was what I got from it. Not that he's broke. He never once said he was broke.
Okay, now my question also is, wasn't he like, so the judge apparently was bagging his wife, meaning like about
What?
bad mouthing. Not
Oh, I
bad,
thought I was like,
bad
what?
mouthing.
What?
I thought you meant they were sleeping together.
I was
What
I was gonna say I was piping.
Sorry, my bad. I'm creating some new gossip.
Yeah.
So she was the judge. So the judge was bad mouthing his ex, but in the same breath, you ain't trying to play your ex. So you defended her, bad mouthing the judge, but you're not trying to pay her child
Her
support.
child support.
That's what I've been
It's like
trying to
back and forth,
ask.
right?
I don't get it. Why is he complaining about the judge not being fair if he's complaining about the judge not being fair to his
Just
wife?
clarify it.
I can tell you why, because he's trying to get people riled up that the judge is racist. So the judge can't be racist if he's giving money to a black woman.
Is she
So
black?
he has to make
Is
it
the
seem
woman
like,
black?
well, he
didn't
called her
look
his black queen. I don't know what she is, but I know he called her his black queen.
Mm.
I don't know what
Okay.
she is.
I'm sorry,
That's
Nicole.
surprising. Let me look.
You know what? You should never judge a book by their cover. My
Yeah.
bad. My bad.
Oh
And his
no,
last
I
name
just-
Gibson?
Say what?
Tyrese, pay your
Is his last
child
name
support.
Gibson?
That's it. Just pay your child support. It's not
Those are not
about
flowers.
what's going on between you, your ex, the current wife, whatever. It's your child. Just pay your child support. That's it.
He doesn't believe that the child deserves $10,000 a month. That's why he was not paying it. But that's what the judge ordered, or that's was what he wasn't paying his back child. He was supposed to pay $10,000 a month.
But if the child was with you in your home, then
Oh, I
it's worth
agree. I'm not
No,
disagreeing.
no,
Yeah.
I'm not arguing with you. I'm talking to Mr. Tyrese that's watching this video right now.
Mhm.
Yeah. You like our video, Tyrese? Go ahead,
Tyrese, and
like
we may know somebody who'll
and
sign a
subscribe.
prenup with you and not ask for no lawyer fees either, but you got to pay the child support if you have a baby, though.
And
Well,
don't
you know
go
what,
bad
that's-
mouthing the judge on social media.
Right before he makes a decision.
Right before you go in the courtroom.
I just don't understand these men who don't feel like their kids should live the way they live. I just
Right.
don't get it.
In their heads, and I'm not defending them because I think anybody who has a child should take care of their child. They're thinking because the mother is using that money on other stuff, but they don't realize she still has to put a roof over the child's head. She still has to feed them, and again, the custom of the lifestyle. They feel, oh, just because she quote unquote may have a Bentley, that she used that money for the Bentley. Even if she did, the child's getting around in that Bentley.
Yeah.
Pay your child support. I agree. Pay what the judge orders or more.
Yeah. And I mean, I hope it's not true that the judge called the woman a bitch. I don't know,
I really can't.
I doubt it.
Yeah, I feel
I
like that
really
was
can't
like,
see that.
okay, let's get everybody riled up. See, he called her a
Yeah.
bitch, and then the claim that he's trying to be, in his kid's life, but the judge is blocking. Judge ain't blocking that. The judge ain't blocking that.
As Lava said, you need to get tested.
Yeah,
What he been smoking?
do you need to stay off
Yeah,
social media?
There has to be something. There has to be something more to this, and it just first get over your anger,
Yes.
and let's go on with the facts of the
Yeah.
situation, and then
And
maybe
let's-
we can make a better informed discussion on
And
this.
let's make it more about the child, But that's the time that we have for this. Viewers, go ahead and jump in, get in on the conversation. Do you know what's going on with Tyrese? Get in on that conversation and get in on that first conversation. About marijuana in sports. Do you think the rules should be changed? Real quick, I want to give a shout out to the people that gave us some comments last week and got in on the conversation. I want to give a shout out to Chaos, who said, we were talking about the popcorn incident, Anthony Bass's wife. He said she should clean it up just like everybody else. And then we have Medis.
Yeah, on trees.
And then we have medicine. It says if they don't want popcorn on the floor, don't offer it, referring to the flight attendants.
Yeah, on
You have to
trees.
get on your hands and knees at the movie theater, please, and don't confuse it with being a Karen. Also, if you're a flight attendant, you need to say, I'm not a custodian to your boss. Okay, and that's referring
Thank you.
to the lady's comment, the claim that it was the captain who wanted the popcorn.
You know?
And for those viewers that are just joining us and didn't watch that episode, go ahead and watch. That one was a good time. Go ahead and watch that one when you finish this one. All right. So on to the last topic, Divas. You know we had to talk about it. Our friend in our heads, or maybe not. Don Lemon. We talked about him a couple times on this show. And we learned the other day that Don Lemon was let go from CNN after 17 years.
17?
My source, 17 years.
Wow.
My source for the story is cnbc.com. So Don Lemon was with CNN for 17 years. His most recent show with them was CNN This Morning. Lemon was informed on Monday by his agent that the network was letting him go. So he was a little hurt, or he didn't say hurt. I'm adding that.
I think he didn't. He say he was hurt.
Okay, maybe he did.
He was hurt because it was like, that's his family. He was hurt.
He was a little hurt that they didn't come to him, that somebody in management didn't come to him personally and say, we're letting you go. But there has been some controversy with Lemon. There was like a month or so ago, or maybe that was a couple weeks ago, where Don Lemon made that comment on the air about women being past their prime after their 40s or 50s or something like that. And some are considering that comment sexist. I think we debated that. There were a couple of us that did not think that comment was sexist. But in the CNBC article, they called that comment sexist. And on April 5th, there was a Variety article that alleged that the anchor disrespected former colleagues, including Nancy Grace and Soledad O'Brien, in a number of public settings, including on air and in editorial meetings. But there is another clip going around of a recent interview on that morning show where they were interviewing GOP presidential candidate Vivek Ramsey. And Antrese has that clip for us.
All right. I think they said this was the cherry on the
top.
For the producers. They just made them done with him, right?
Right.
Okay, here we go.
I find your explanation reductive and actually insulting, including to Black Americans, to say that Black people today, compared to 1964, 1865, haven't made progress in part because of the freedoms we secured. And the Second Amendment was part of what secured
hang on,
that
please.
freedom.
I cannot keep a thought if you guys are talking to me in my ear. So hang on 1 second. So to say that Black people, say what you said again.
Black people secured their freedoms after the Civil War. It is a historical fact, Don. Just study it. Only after their Second Amendment rights were secured.
They were not secured their freedoms after the Civil War. That is not, you are discounting Reconstruction. You're discounting a whole host of things that happened after the Civil War when it comes to African Americans, including the whole reason that the Civil Rights Movement happened is because Black people did not secure their freedoms after the Civil War, and that things turned around. People tried to change the freedoms that were supposed to.
And you know how they got it? They got their Second Amendment rights, and they actually got the NRA played a big role in that. But today, Don, the
NRA did not play a big role.
They trained Black Americans how to use firearms.
That's a lie. That's not. The NRA did not play a big role.
It's just historical fact.
It's not historical fact.
The part that I find,
because you say it's historical fact.
The part that I find insulting is when you say today Black Americans don't have those rights after we have gone through civil rights revolution in this country.
You are sitting here telling an African American about the rights and what you find insulting about the way I live, the skin I live in every day.
Here's where you and I have
the
a different
freedoms
point
that
of view.
Black and white that Black people don't have in this country, and that Black people do have.
Well, here's where you and I have a different point of view. I think we should be able to express our views regardless of the color of our skin. We should have this debate.
I'm not saying you
without
should
me regarding you as a Black man,
but
me regarding you as a fellow citizen.
That you're sitting here, whatever ethnicity you are, explaining to me
whatever ethnicity I'm,
what it's like to be Black.
Whatever ethnicity I am, I'll tell you what I am. I'm an Indian American. I'm proud of it. But I think we should have this debate. Black, white doesn't matter.
I think we should have this debate.
The content of the ideas.
You should do it in an honest way and in a fair way. And what you're doing is not an honest and fair way. Okay? We appreciate you coming on.
With due respect, Don, I look forward to continuing that conversation.
Thank you. The conversation.
Thank you so much.
All right, so that got a little heated.
That's why he lost his job.
In the beginning,
in my
of the clip,
opinion.
He lost his job for saying whatever race you are.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree.
Ethnicity.
Whatever
Yeah.
ethnicity you are.
Sorry.
And I don't know if
Whatever
y'all caught it in the beginning. He was telling the producers, like, yo, quiet, y'all in my ear.
Get out of my
I
ear.
can't
I
hear
can't pay
nothing.
attention. Right.
They were probably
so-
telling him, calm down, calm down.
Right. But I think he handled it.
And
Well,
they shook hands in the end.
He went
Yeah,
off.
they
He went off
shook
script.
hands. There was no cussing, no,
He went.
So,
He went
y'all-
rogue. According to them, he went rogue.
Exactly. They was like, Don, calm down. He was like, nah, this ain't gonna happen. Not on my watch. So are y'all
Right.
surprised? Are y'all surprised that Don Lemon has
No.
CNN as part of his
been-
ways?
It's been rumored that he was going ever since the new management came in.
Mm.
They
Makes sense.
weren't his fans.
So it's like they were gunning for him anyway, basically, like
Mhm.
looking
Yep.
for him.
So they were looking for a reason.
So what would y'all like to see him do next? Like, is there any network y'all think he should go
He's
to?
gonna go with his pal,
Chris Cuomo.
Chris Cuomo.
The bromance.
That
The bromance.
network, that network already said we want you. So
Okay. Yeah, that's
Somebody's gonna take him.
I'm
Somebody's
sure.
gonna
Job.
take it.
He's got a job. It's just how they did it. I think that's the piece that I think is just disheartening. Like you said, if he's been part of the family, granted, if it's new management, they don't consider him family, but to handle it that way.
Right.
I
And
think
also
he was
for him to be-
disrespected,
Right.
not hurt. I don't think he felt hurt. He was disrespected.
Right.
I
And
agree.
also just being fired versus what was the other guy? Have you seen that comparison of the other guy from
Tucker Carlson.
yeah, how, like
They said-
he
they
went off
said they
to do
parted
other
ways.
things. They parted ways, but so this man did that, lied, and Don gets fired for speaking the truth. I mean,
Right.
defending
Yeah,
himself.
for
It's just-
checking somebody.
And what's wrong without with
Whoa,
not
whoa,
knowing
hold
someone's
on. I want to hear
ethnicity?
hold on, Ms.
on.
Antrice.
Andres, I was gotta go
Andres,
for
what
the
you
other
telling?
side.
What you?
Speak
I
up,
want to hear what
Okay.
you're saying.
girl.
Let's go. Come on, let's go. What you saying, girl?
Guys, Don Lemon has been problematic for a
Mhm.
while, according
No,
to
he's had some
according
words.
to people that actually work with him. He's a diva, they say. He's very disrespectful to his female co-hosts. Apparently, he went off on Caitlin Collins in front of the whole team because she interrupted him on the air. Like, Don Lemon has had some issues leading up to this. And when you've worked for a place, we've all had jobs. When you've worked someplace for 17 years and they're just ready to say goodbye to you, that's because there's been a buildup, not because of one interview.
Yeah, no,
And
I
I'm not even
figured
saying that.
That's what
My
I said.
comparison was fired versus parting ways. They could have, it's always we get fired. And I'm just sparking the flame, trying to get discussion, kind of get on Therese all fired up because she likes to go against the grain. Fired versus parting ways, where you have somebody else who also was history of issues. He parted ways. I would just like a nice, friendlier term for Don's departure.
Right. I feel
Personal
you.
opinion.
Don Lemon is the one who came out and said he was fired.
Oh, he was the one who said that. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
he said
didn't-
that
he didn't
was
wanna play
told
their
by
game.
his agent, and he would have expected to hear directly from CNN. I think that's what he said.
Yeah, that's what I've read.
You know, there's two sides to every story.
And
And-
then
The truth is in the middle.
That's right. Because, I could see where people would say, oh, he's been disrespectful to this person. He's been disrespectful for that person. But do we know what they did to him for him to be disrespect? And like you said before, I can't remember who said, if it was, I don't recall, where they said that, he had to check them because sometimes.
Why you got to put that diva picture up?
He actually looks real good.
The shade.
Look, she's
Lavelle,
trying to get her po-
Lavelle, they say this is who they working with, this person.
You know what? I'm not saying anything, but I know in today's society, people look at you. I mean, I've worked at some institutions where they think, oh, they see this woman here. She is not educated. She's from the ghetto. She's not well versed in things, and they
Just
know
making
absolutely.
assumptions.
Yeah. So I'm gonna give Dom a little pass because sometimes people.
I'd be
They
trying.
take you there.
Don Diva got a pass from another diva.
And I'm gonna say,
And you know how Andres feels. got us getting them passes now.
You gave another brother a pass.
But if it happens at the next network, if you the problem,
Then we're gonna have to
Then
common
you
denominator.
Dom.
yeah. Now I got another question for y'all. We talked about Tucker Carlson a little bit. His name came up. Lee Daniels. He was the director or producer of Empire. He thinks Don Lemon and Tucker Carlson should do a show together.
You know what? It might bring for good conversation.
I think he was just trying to get some
Tisha
hits
shaking
on
her
his,
head. She was like,
social media.
It's going to be arguing. Just going to be arguing.
I heard that Tucker Carlson might be making a presidential bid, and so he wanted
oh Lord, Trump's vice president. I'm sorry.
Ooh.
Well, we shall see. We shall see what's going on. Viewers, y'all let us know how you feel about Don Lemon being fired. Let us know if you gonna watch him wherever he goes onto the next network. Don Lemon, hope you land on your feet, bro. I'm sure you will. I mean, Rick Ross said he got a job from him at Wingstop, which was really stupid.
Girl.
I bet not see him at no damn Wingstop.
Anderson Cooper's the last man standing at CNN, huh?
For real? Oh my goodness.
Wow. We will see what goes down at CNN. I think the New Year's Eve ain't gonna be the same. That's really the only place I watched him.
Changing of the guards.
Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, Divas, it's been a fun one, and hopefully this was a quick one. I know Joe will appreciate that because she edits the videos. All right, y'all. Get in on the conversation, viewers. Go ahead and get in on the conversation. Leave us some comments. Like our videos, and please subscribe. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
And hit the bell so you'll be notified.
Yes.